Hey guys, I'm Kevin Van Gouwer. I'm an electromechanical engineer. I am the head of engineering for EuroCodeTuning. So I do all the conceptualization, all the testing, all the development of new parts that we develop for these wonderful Audi and Volkswagen cars. They've asked me to talk a little bit about the RS3 throttle body inlet pipe. When we were testing the stage 3 on the dyno, we noticed, Eric of Eric Ernest of APR noticed that there was a really big pressure drop over the throttle body inlet pipe of the RS3. So after he told us that, I went to investigate what the cause was of this, and so we saw that this inlet pipe was definitely suboptimally designed, with a lot of protrusions on the inside and a very sharp bend in it too. So I went to scan the design to get some key parameters of it, some key measurements, and we designed it to have only true radiuses in there. As you can see, it's really a smooth radius in design, and a constant cross-sectional area to keep the airflow really smooth and just flowing fast through it. So this was all good. However, we had some challenges. In the beginning we didn't really work with the airbox, and then after we did some prototype designs, we saw that with the airbox it was not fully working, so I had to work with it a little bit, relocate a couple things, make sure it fits any airbox on the market. And then also one of the challenges was the engine cover. So the grommet for the engine cover on the stock part is on this little piece that's bolted on. However, there is really no way to reuse this piece when you're properly designing this inlet pipe with a true radius and constant cross-sectional area to actually reuse that. So it's just not possible. So I thought of a way where we just integrate the holder of the grommet right in it, in the design, yeah, that's how we solved it. I think if I may say so myself, it's a pretty elegant solution. So after we were done with initial design, I worked very closely together with Sean from SRM to adapt the design a little bit for machining. He has a 5-axis machine, CNC machine, which is the only kind of machine that actually can produce this thing. So yeah, we worked closely together to optimize it for the machining. Big shout out to him. And he was able to produce the first functional prototype that we could use on the dyno. So we did some dyno testing with it. We had really good gains from it. However, we did see by solving the restrictions on this part that there were now some other restrictions further upstream coming into play, like this pipe that's between the throttle body inlet pipe and the intercooler. You can see it has a little indentation. Normally the effect of it is really not that bad with the stock part, because the stock part is just way worse, so this really doesn't do anything. But because we improved the stock throttle body inlet pipe to something that flows really well, suddenly this comes into play. So we redesigned that with also this pipe with a larger radius, and bigger cross-sectional area again. You know, it just works really well with our parts, since some of the locations are a bit relocated. We actually could improve the overall part as well, just in many different areas. Last but not least, we also produced this little spacer. New spacer has room for a boost gauge and met injection or even NOS. It is not only is it a better looking part than the stock part. The stock part has this recess in here, which is of course again not optimal for performance. So you know, this together with all the other parts just works really well, and you know, as a package gives the really nice gains that we're seeing yeah, on the RS3. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We will keep making really great parts here at EuroCodeTuning. Personally, I've always been a huge fan of Audi and also Volkswagen. I've been following Audi at Le Mans for many years, you know, and yeah, the Audi Quattro too, the legend of the Audi Quattro. Who can't be excited about that, especially with the new RS3 with the 5-cylinder engine again. It's yeah, exciting times, and we will keep making great performance parts for everybody, and yeah, keep tuned. Thanks.
Alright folks, we've got our Voodoo Blue RS3 strapped down on the dyno here today for some testing. We're going to be checking this part out to see what it yields on the dyno. It is our throttle body inlet that replaces the factory unit that has some restriction, and we're going to see what it does. We're going to test it on 91 octane. This car is equipped with the APR Stage 1 tune. It's got the cast turbo inlet pipe, APR carbon fiber transition piece, leading over to the stock air box using a K&N drop-in filter. It also has the Elite Motorsports DSG catch can, a really crucial component if you own one of these cars and you don't want to end up with DSG fluid all over the engine bay. It can also be placed in the stock location. Bang for the buck, phenomenal product, can be found on our website if you guys are interested. It has the stock throttle body elbow on the car now. We're going to be replacing that, and you're going to watch that on video being done. Our front mounted intercooler with billet end tanks that's on here, as well as stock downpipe. So we just want to show you that here for a second. Let me see if I can get in there. Factory downpipes on the car. It's got the Miltech mid pipes installed on it as well. We're going to do some passes as is. Then we're going to do some passes with the throttle body elbow on the vehicle. You're going to watch us install it and do passes after. We're going to discuss the runs. We're going to stop at each run, walk you up to that monitor right there so you can see the gains. And then we're going to lay the graphs on top of each other, and we're going to look at the best run from the stock set, or when I mean stock, I mean the stock throttle body elbow, versus our upgraded, beautifully machined 5th axis CNC part. We hope you enjoy this video, and it's going to be informative for you. So let us get started. 46 torque. It's our first run. Number 2, 452 and 466. Number 3, 456 and 458. I'm gonna walk you guys around the dyno on this one. Stop the dyno. We're gonna switch the part out and see how the part does. Can you pop the hood? So far, throttle body elbow, intake manifold's gone back into place, and our new high flow pipe underneath as well. As you can see, the factory rubber mount that holds the engine cover goes right into here, and we'll secure the engine cover once we're done. We're now going to throw in the stock air box and resume our testing. All the parts are back on, new throttle body pieces on there, our new shiny spacers on there, and engine covers back on, airbox, and we're ready to rock and roll. Let's see what happens. First pass, 460 and 472 to the wheel. Number 2, 459 and 464. Number 3, 456 and 463. 463 and 460. At this point, but we're gonna do one more just for fun to see what she does. And 463 as adaptation took place. I don't think we need to torture this car anymore. We are definitely making more power than stock, but we're going to want to see how much more power we made under the curve, because that's the telltale sign of how much better this product is over stock. So give us a moment, we'll get all that sorted for you. Okay, so this is the last 3 passes where we got the max gains out of the vehicle with the stock throttle body elbow in place. So run 1, 448 and 451, run 2, 448 and 450, and run 3, 452 and 443. So we're gonna go with run number 3. We're gonna lay that guy over the best run from the performance mod set. So we're gonna actually go look at that in a second. So let us pull those up real quick. So here we have the 3 runs that were made, the last 3 runs of the set that we made as the vehicle was going through adaptation. Run 1, 457, 456, run 2, 452, 453, and run 3, 450, 458. So we're going to pick run 1, which was actually the one with the most heat in it, and we're going to run that up against the best run with 452 to the wheel off of the stock throttle body set. So I'm going to walk you guys over to this monitor here because it's a bit easier to show you guys the graph laid over, but we're going to post these things up later. So this is basically both settings. The cars ran extremely hard on the dyno, multiple passes, heat soaked, so results are legit. They're as good as they're ever going to get. No rinky-dink shop fan is ever going to be able to duplicate this. So for torque here, for example, at about 3,500 RPM, 445-ish to 457. So you've got a good 12 pound-feet of torque there. Horsepower starts being generated, additional horsepower at 289 versus 299. So there's 10 wheel horsepower at 34, 70 RPMs, more towards the mid-range. At 4,900 RPM, 392 versus 403. So roughly about 10 horsepower there. We've got 420 torque versus 431. So we've got about 11 pound-feet of torque at the same RPM. Moving further down the line at 5,900 RPM, 390 pound-feet of torque versus 402, 12 pound-feet of torque there. Horsepower starts getting interesting here. 5,900 RPM, 439 pound-feet of 439 wheel horsepower, sorry, versus 452. Solid 13 wheel horsepower there. It tapers obviously a little bit. Power band's always going to fluctuate. Towards redline, we've got at 6,800 RPM, 439 horsepower versus 453, folks. 439 versus 453. This is on 91. We got exact same solid gains on this vehicle with E85, doing the exact same test. We're going to be posting these videos for you, posting these graphs so you can see exactly what it makes. Thank you very much for joining us on and watching this video. I hope it was informative and helps you make a good purchasing decision. Thank you very much. Our entire testing, beginning to end, took about 56 minutes. We had a timer there. I don't know if you noticed it. We started at the beginning towards about a few minutes in. So that's roughly what it took to complete the testing. Thank you very much. Thank you, Arthur.